Good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel. This video is not financial advice. I'm a financial advisor. Do your own research, make your own decisions. Okay, guys, welcome back. So this is just going to be an open discussion, and I'll cover some cloud stuff, some ICP stuff, and everywhere in between. And I will get to the caffeine AI differentiator video. I'll put that out on the 3rd, so World Computer Summit Day. And I'll just compile the biggest, most important differentiators from all my old videos and put that into one video. All right. Now, with this, I don't know where I'm going to start. Let's just start with the new environment, the new era, the new culture in the ICP ecosystem. And it's been much needed because there's just been a cancerous group of people running around here creating problems and a bunch of noise for way too long. And I've been saying for a very long time that there's a decent number of non-serious people in this ecosystem playing make-believe. And you could start identifying who these people are. And most of them don't talk very often. Most of them aren't going to get on camera and actually speak to the community. There's a good reason for that. The more that they do that, the more they will expose themselves as non-serious people. So they try to hide as much as they possibly can. But they've done me the biggest favor. I almost think that they're secretly trying to help me in some ways. They've outed themselves for me in recent weeks and months, and now people can see it for themselves. And if we just, I'm convinced at this point that cloud is embedded into the framework of the universe and that this was supposed to happen exactly the way that it did. Because if we go back, let's say 7 or 8 months ago, if we go back before cloud, this entire crowd, this what I would call the shitcoin dev community, the disgruntled dev community, the scammer community, it's all kind of blurred into one thing over time. But they were positioned perfectly just before cloud. They were in all the right places. They had big positions in all the main meme coins and all the main projects. And they're still positioned in some legitimate projects that I hope those legitimate projects do well and succeed. I'm not rooting against them at all. And I'll support them, throughout the next however long. But they were positioned perfectly. And if they just would have made it until the mainstreaming phase, until the tide turned, they would have been they would have been good to go. But now, because this drug on longer than people expected, and because cloud did happen, and because now fatigue is starting to set in, and they're no longer the only game in town anymore, right? Now that there's competition, now that people can start to see who these people are, right? The pressure is starting to get to them, and they're starting to have emotional and mental breakdowns on social media. And for me, it's beautiful to watch because I've been saying there's a bunch of non-serious people in this ecosystem playing make believe for a long time. And if I would have named them, if I would have pointed them out and called them out by name, by project, I would have gotten attacked as the bad guy. I've seen this happen in history. I've seen this happen in the ICP ecosystem. And so I just tried to explain it the best that I could so people could start seeing it for themselves. And this crowd did me the biggest favor imaginable over the last few months. And it's almost like the universe was not going to allow the ecosystem to move forward with all of these low frequency losers in perfect position. Because they were only in perfect position. And here's the thing, too, a lot of other people are going to start seeing what I'm talking about. Guys, there's no real cloud is clear path to become the biggest brand on ICP and over time, in my opinion, one of the biggest brands in Web3. There's who's going to sell against me in the ecosystem? Y'all let me know. This somebody from this crowd, they don't speak. They hide behind their fucking anonymous accounts. They have too much beta energy just to get on camera and speak to the community. They don't believe enough in their own projects to get on camera and speak to the community. Who's going to sell against me in this ecosystem? Let me know because I haven't even really turned it up yet. I'm just getting started. And cloud is positioned perfectly in every single way imaginable. Y'all can go read through my feed if you're not. aware of the context of anything that I'm talking about right now, but people have had the last 2 or 3 years. All right. And a lot of these people have no comprehension of where it's going. They weren't the ones to lay out the big picture thesis. They've never even really done any education because a lot of them just learned how to code 6 to 12 months ago after they got introduced to artificial intelligence. They're shitcoin devs. That's it. Maybe can do some UI work here and there too. And if they do good work with a quality project, hey, awesome. But most of them are just shitcoin devs using the community as their piggy bank. And that's what they've been doing, a lot of them for the last few years, using the community, using the ecosystem as their piggy bank. They don't know how to sell. They don't know how to market. They don't understand anything about business. They don't understand anything about branding. That's how Cloud was able to ascend to one of the top brands in the ecosystem so quickly because these people don't know anything about branding. They don't know anything about selling. They don't know anything about marketing. They don't know anything about anything because they're just low frequency losers. That's it, who have this overinflated sense of self importance. That's who these people are. And now people are starting to see it for themselves. Now I don't even have to call them out by name and by project anymore. People are starting to see it for themselves. Look at this poll. I mean, look at how much things have changed in such a short period of time. This is going to be the last time I address this crowd. um, as specifically as I'm addressing them in this video, even though I'm being kind of general. But after this, it's onward with the new breakaway community, with the new era, the new environment, the new culture. We're leaving all this other stupid shit behind. All of this stupid shit should have never been propped up as in the ecosystem ever. So many people have propped up clowns. And for those people, go right ahead because again, I already know where this ends for this crowd. For the legitimate projects that they're involved with, I hope the best for those projects. I'll root for those projects. I'm happy to support those projects over time. But this entire crowd is tied to tons of dead projects, tons of dead projects. And it's going to be fun watching this play out from here. It's going to be fun watching this devolve over the next 6 to 12 months. Yeah, these people don't understand business. They don't understand network effects. They just copy what other people are doing or have already done. That's all they do. Is just find something somebody else is doing and try to copy that. They have no originality. They know how to do the bare minimum to create a shitcoin or a UI. That's it. With the help of AI. They're all going to be replaced by artificial intelligence. All of you shitcoin devs, you're all going to be replaced by AI over the next few years. And see, the types of people I'm talking about give a bad name to the legitimate serious developers who I'm never ever criticizing under any circumstances. For the serious legit developers in the ecosystem who aren't trying to scam people, who are just open and transparent and trying to build real solutions, hats off to you. But this crowd gives y'all a bad name. This crowd makes people in the community a lot more skeptical, which people should be more skeptical in a general sense, but makes people more skeptical of the dev crowd in general. But with cloud, so if you think about all these boxes as layer ones, just think about cloud breaking out of the ecosystem, the resistance, right? Because a lot of the community, a lot of things were co-opted in this community, in my personal opinion, and I think more people are starting to see that now. But as cloud was starting to ascend, there was a lot of resistance. There was FUD. There were people that didn't want it to happen. There was a lot of pushback, right? But cloud just continued just breaking through. And it's going to be the same way with ICP in the crypto space. And so if you look at all these boxes as layer ones in the crypto ecosystem, main layer ones, not like random irrelevant layer ones, but ideally projects on each of these different networks start using ICP over time. And we're already starting to see that with Bitcoin. We're already starting to see that with Ethereum, right? But as the ICP message starts moving into the mainstream in crypto, there's going to be resistance, just like with cloud. Cloud is a microcosm for ICP in every single way, every way. Yeah. Um, as ICP starts moving into the mainstream conversation, there will be pushback. There will be smart innovators who want to collaborate, but there will be pushback and there will be resistance. And so, bringing the ICP message into the mainstream in crypto, there's going to be some friction. It's going to be a process. It's going to take time. You're going to have to handle people's originations, handle their objections, address different bullshit technical critiques, all of these things over time to get the ICP message to stick in mainstream crypto. And that's what the Cloud Foundation, it's one of the many things the Cloud Foundation is going to be helping with, along with others like the ICP hubs and others. Mm, mm. McDonald's almost overtook this one here next to the bottom, which is kind of funny. Um, this slide pretty much says it all, in my opinion. Yeah. And it's good that people are starting to see now. I'm telling you, the universe was not going to allow the ecosystem to move forward with these types of people in perfect position with no competition. Because that was the situation. Guys, if we just go back 7, 8, 9 months ago, that was the situation. They were all positioned perfectly and being propped up as super important people, even though now people are seeing how non-serious these people are, right? But just 7, 8, 9 months ago, they were being propped up as these super important people in the ecosystem. Everybody should. They're just shitcoin devs, low frequency betas. That's it. That's who they are. That's who they've always been. They don't know how to sell. They don't know how to market. They know how to create shitcoins and maybe do some UI work. That's it. They don't even understand the importance of public speaking or basic concepts about branding. They don't get it. And so for other people in the ecosystem looking for opportunity, this is how quickly cloud ascended to one of the top brands, if not the top brand in the entire ecosystem. You want because everybody's asleep at the wheel. So that should let you know there is opportunity. Outside of cloud and what we're doing, you just have to get through the low frequency beta community. And now that I've kind of, I guess, carved the other path, it should be very easy for other people to come behind and do the same thing. They tried to have a monopoly on the ecosystem. They tried to co opt the entire ecosystem. They tried to have control over the entire ecosystem. They didn't want competition. And now that it's here, they're fucking melting down in real time. And it's fucking hilarious to watch. But this is going to be the last time that I address any of you losers because I'm throwing it into overdrive from here and I'm taking cloud to the top over the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years. This is going to be a longer term thing, but it's over. Yeah. And everything that happens from here will just be watching this unravel even further than it already has. And I'm looking forward to it because this crowd's caused me a lot of problems over the last few years. People that I brought into this ecosystem have invested into projects from this crowd and they've lost money. You want to know what happens after that? Normally, they start becoming very sour on the network itself. That alone shakes some people out. But just think about the delusion with these people. Dfinity is the biggest R&D team in the blockchain space on earth. They created the only solution to all the world's biggest problems. If we're going to get to a Web3 model, the entire world's population, billions of people, if we're going to get there, it's going to be because of the solution Dfinity created. It's not going to be because of some shitcoin. It's not going to be because of some Windows replica built some Web 2 solution. See, there's no originality. None. Absolutely no originality. That's why these people hide. That's why they're afraid to get on camera and actually put their name and face behind anything that they say. Because they're cowards at the end of the day. It's nothing but beta energy. And it's consumed this ecosystem for way too long. And so cloud is a breakaway community. Whatever y'all decide to continue doing in this other shit show, I don't give a shit. It has nothing to do with me. I'm detaching all of my shit from everything y'all have going on. Too many of y'all have been riding the coattails of those of us who actually do good work in this ecosystem, who actually have a positive impact on this ecosystem, who bring real energy, excitement, enthusiasm to this ecosystem. Too many of you betas have been riding the coattails from people like me for way too fucking long. And so I'm turning all of it off. And now you're starting to see the effects. Your communities that never really existed to begin with are all shriveling up and dying. Mm, mm, mm. You know what, guys? That's going to be all for this video. I just wanted to give my thoughts. And here's to a new day, a new era, a new time. And I'm excited. I really am. I haven't felt this optimistic about ecosystem stuff in a very long time. I would not look at this as drama or anything like that. This is the changing of the guard. This is the other lane being opened. This is the next phase. This is the universe correcting itself and saying this is not going to move forward with all of these losers having no competition in this ecosystem and just being here and talking down to people, acting like, you know, just dismissing people in the ecosystem who ask questions or who want transparency. Team Cloud, we will be out in front, name and face, on camera, open and transparent, and doing everything we can to help move the conversation forward with ICP and with projects in the ICP ecosystem that are doing good work and that are solving real problems. That's what we're going to do. But we're leaving all this other stupid shit behind. That's all I have for this video. This was not financial advice. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. That's it. Take care. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next video.